APNvideo.com is on the air, and today we're coming to you from Goodyear Ballpark. It's the 2025 Msbl World Series. Chicago Maxx Cubs taking on the Rebl Phillies from the winter home of the Cincinnati Reds and the Cleveland Ball Club. This ballpark opened up in 2009. Reed Stifel, the manager of the Chicago Maxx Cubs, they come in here with a record of 4-1, while the Rebl Phillies out of the Bay Area, led by Paul DiMattei, he's the manager in the Phillies replica uniform. And they're hoping to get their first win in round-robin play. Well, we had a chance to talk to some of the members of both of these teams. Paul DiMattei is with Mr. Strohmeyer.
This is Greg Strohmeyer. I'm Paul DiMattei, manager of Rebl Phillies. This may be our last go-round.
Yes.
Especially in the 55.
Yes, that's right.
When you're 0-5, there's a sign that's telling you that that might be the finish line. And it's great we can move up, though, because we've been moving up for a number of times.
Right. This is our stadium game. We're looking forward to a big
Greg
W.
is an ageless wonder, we call him the ageless wonder, because I think he might be turning digits next year.
Just a number.
Anyway,
Just
Greg,
a number.
tell us about your experiences down here and all the times.
A lot of fun. Always had a good time. Whether we win or lose, it's always a good experience.
great time.
It's a camaraderie with the players and everything before and after the game, and so it's always good.
The weather, the fields down here, and it's just every year we look forward to coming down here. But I've had this team for 20 years, and I put in a few hours on the team, so I may be moving into the player role and taking the manager role on the show, but we'll see. You never know. So thank you for all the videos and doing all the memories that I would have forgotten.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks and everything. Okay.
So, my name is Eric Williams, and I'm here in Tempe for the 55 Plus World Series. It's the first tournament I'm participating in, and I retired 2 years ago after being a school social worker for 30 odd years, and I decided I wanted to go back to playing baseball. I hadn't played in 40 years, so I searched out and found a league and started a team in April called the Bergen Grays, named after the legendary Negro League team, the Homestead Grays, and a couple of players that I had played in high school with, and one guy who I played with as an 8-year-old, and we remained best friends our whole lives. So here we are at this stage of our lives, bonding over baseball again. George, great to be playing ball with you again. And so I ended up wanting to play some baseball, and unfortunately ran into some health issues and required 2 spinal surgeries. One in March to replace a disc, my C5, and then after that I had some complications and needed another operation and got operated on C6 and C7. After that I had another complication and required a surgery in July, and during that procedure there was an anomaly, and I experienced a pulmonary edema, and I was crashing on the table and spent 4 days in the ICU. Not knowing what had happened when I woke up, I thought it was a routine procedure, but 4 days later I was in the ICU wondering how I had gotten there. One of my first thoughts was, will I be able to play baseball again? And will I be able to make the MSBL tournament? And it was really a driving force for me to both heal and strengthen myself, but also to have something positive to look forward to, is playing this tournament with guys I hadn't met before, but certainly were very encouraging. And so, I worked out very hard and got myself strong, and got my mindset focused on coming down here and just really appreciating the opportunity to be in a condition to even play, which we all are. Very grateful that we can even be out here and play baseball.
So I've been with this guy 25 years, and I've been with this guy 62 years.
Yes, that's right.
62 years.
I don't look a day over 40, but
I bet you we're probably the only brothers that do what we do with the intensity that we do it. And we've got 3 teams this year. It's really an organization more than just teams, and we have a great time. It's more about the guys than it is about winning, even though we're very competitive and we've won quite a bit over the years. Tonight's going to be a great game. We're hoping that we'll be second in the division if we win tonight's game. And our 65 team is struggling to make the playoffs, but we hope that works out for us too.
We should make it.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting set for some baseball here, the 2025 Men's Senior Baseball League World Series. The Redwood Empire Baseball League Phillies will be sending up Mahiran McLeod and Jim Fain. On the mound is Carl Falkstrom for Chicago, and the first pitch hits him, and this game is underway. Next batter up is going to be Al McLeod. He's one of the top OPS guys on this Phillies team. Takes a strike. 0-1. We're just underway from Goodyear Ballpark, the winter home of the Cleveland Ball Club and the Cincinnati Reds. McLeod from Novato, California. Runner goes, and the throwdown is not in time. It goes out into center field, and the runner will head to third. Here's the throw, and it will be late. So the Phillies off and running here with a runner at third and nobody out. Trying to get to Carl Falkstrom right away, and the next pitch is too high. As we mentioned, McLeod, one of the better all-around hitters on this Phillies team. And the pitch is swung on and missed. A changeup that just kind of floated inside. He probably expected that ball to break back over the inner half, but that was not the case, and there's one down. And Carl has his first strikeout of the game and will face Jim Fain. And a line shot to the second baseman. That's the Sunfield, and that goes out in the right center field. Coming around to score on the play is Dale, and the Phillies here in the top of the first inning lead it 1-0. So, one out single by Fain, and here's Brian Schultz. Throw over to first, and the runner is back in easily. We're in the top of the first inning. 1-0, the Redwood Empire Baseball League Phillies. There's a swing and a miss. The runner is going, and the tag was made, but he could not hold on to the ball, and the Phillies have their second stolen base here in the first. And a looper down the right field line, but that's going to be out of play. Brian has had an outstanding tournament at the plate. He's out of Terre Haute, Indiana, which is right there on the Illinois state line. And the fastball outside, and a good take that time by Brian Schultz. That's too far inside. One nothing with a runner at second, one out here in the top of the first inning, and now the delivery is hit to the right side. Second baseman gets down, gobbles it up, and throws on to first base, and there's two down here in the first. So a nice job by Albert Martinez. Runner moves up to third. And now Paul DiMattei, the Phillies cleanup hitter. Slugger looking for a run-producing hit right here to extend the lead 2-0. He takes inside, ball one. Paul out of San Rafael, California. Beautiful part just north of San Francisco. Ground ball shortstop, and here's the play. Here's the throw. He got him at first base. Graves digs it out, and that'll retire the side. The Phillies draw first blood. They lead it 1-0 here on apmvideo.com. Alden Stiefel already attacking the umpires here at Goodyear Ballpark. He's the general manager of the Chicago North Maxx, the old Chicago North Cubs. We head to the home half of inning number one. And on the mound from Indiana, Brian Schultz out of Terre Haute, Indiana, home to the Indiana State College. That's where Larry Bird went to college. Cancelo is doing the catching here for the Phillies. And now Schultz will be facing his opposite number, Carl Falkstrom, the leadoff hitter. Well, you don't see a leadoff, usually a pitcher that's the starting pitcher, also a leadoff hitter. The last game we did earlier today had their starting pitcher was the cleanup hitter. So you don't see that very often. So we're ready to go, bottom half of the first inning. And a strike called on the inside corner to Carl Falkstrom. And Tom Berenger will be up next for the Maxx Cubs. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Phillies got a run in the first inning and lead it 1-0 here. And that one behind the hitter that time, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Outside a ball. Cubs trying to get their leadoff hitter aboard and quickly equalize this game here in the bottom of the first inning. That's in there for a strike. They needed a fastball there. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Falkstrom, a right-handed hitter, right-handed pitcher at the plate, and he lines one out into left field, a base hit. So Carl representing the tying run with a leadoff single to left field, a good line drive hit. That'll bring up Tom Berenger, the longtime mainstay of the Chicago North Cubs and now the Chicago Maxx Cubs. Runner at first base with nobody out. Paul DiMattei over there at first base. And again, we're in the 55 and over Cactus division. Runner goes, and that's a called strike. The throw down to second, and the throw's going to be a tad late. It was dropped by the shortstop, and the Cubs have a runner in scoring position. No balls and 1 strike on the left-handed hitting Tom Berenger. Tying run at second, no out. Squares the bunt. He takes high and away, and it's 1-1. Runner with a modest lead, and coming right back with a beautiful fastball right down the middle is Brian Schultz, the starting pitcher today for manager Paul DiMattei of the Rebl Phillies. 2-strike pitch, and he struck him out swinging. Looked like he had a good beat on that pitch, but swung over the top of it, and there's 1 down here in the home half of the first inning. I'll bring up the third place hitter in Javi Renya. Runner at second with 1 out now, and that ball hit him right in the helmet. Well, good thing that was an off-speed pitch, so Javi getting a good laugh out of it, and that's why you wear the helmet. And he will head down to first, and he represents the go-ahead run for Chicago Maxx Cubs. Now the cleanup hitter, Billy Dew, as Lou Gordon calls him, Bill Dew. He's been with this organization for many years now. He's got a championship ring or 2 on his finger. So Bill comes up to the plate with a chance to drive in a run, first and second occupied. And there's only 1 man out here in the home half of the first inning. We had a late start. This was a 4 o'clock scheduled start time, and I think we started somewhere around 4:35. Next pitch is strike 2 called. Yep, dude didn't like that call, and it's 0-2. Just underway, bottom half of inning number 1. And here's the pitch. And a ground ball, and this might be trouble with the speed of Billy Dew. The throw on to first, and they got him. Well, right now, the Chicago club is saying that that ball hit Billy Dew in the foot. Let's see what the umpires say about this. They're going to stay with the no call, and Billy Dew is out. So a heck of a play down there at the hot corner. So there's 2 down in the inning. Not a completely wasted at bat because at least both runners moved up to second and third. Now Greg Wolpoff is batting for the first time, 5th place hitter in the lineup. Greg is down, no balls and 2 strikes. Brian just a strike away from getting out of this second and third jam with 2 out. The pitch. And strike 3 called. That'll retire the side. Outstanding job there by Scholes. And at the end of 1 from Goodyear Ballpark in Goodyear, Arizona, 1-0 Phillies here on APN in the 2025 MSBL World Series. All right, back here at Goodyear Baseball Park, Jeff Lowry with the call of the game and a first pitch called strike. Phillies got 1 in that first inning. And a comebacker to the mound, a hard hit ball, 1 up, 1 down. Next up is Dave Wetzel, takes a high and tight fastball for ball 1. Now, the first 5 batters have the normal batting order, but then when you start at 6 through the rest of the batting order for the Phillies, you've got, I believe it's 5 shared positions. Changeup is lifted in the air to left field. This is going to be caught. Nice running catch, and quickly 2 down for the Cubs on defense. Tim Simmons with a nice running catch in left field. 2 up and 2 down for the Phils here in the second inning. That'll bring up Jeff Roby. Takes a first pitch offering, a called strike from Falkstrom. Roby out of Omaha, Nebraska. And here's a little short blooper in the right field, fighting the sun and hauling it in. By Javi in right, 3 up and 3 down for the Phils on offense. And we head now to the home half of the second. 1-0 Redwood Empire. Brett Graves will lead things off here for Chicago Maxx in the bottom half of the second inning. A Phillies lead, not Philadelphia. The Redwood Empire Baseball League Phillies lead it by a score of 1-0. Graves was a championship-winning pitcher a few years ago on APM Video Sports at Tempe Diablo. I think that was against that Red Deer, the Canadian team. He pitched a really nice game in what turned out to be a blowout win for Chicago, the Chicago North Cubs at the time. That's in there for a called strike. Bottom half of inning number 2. Graves also an outstanding hitter, a good two-way player in terms of starting pitcher and also a pretty good hitter, getting the start here today at first base. Well, the Chicago Maxx Cubs come in with a record of 4 wins and 1 loss. The Phillies looking for their first win in the 6-game round-robin play. 55 and over Cactus. And that's high, ball 4. So he walks the leadoff hitter to start the second. He represents the tying run for the Cubs. Now Charles Kerr at the plate. And the fastball is too high. 1 ball and no strikes here in the home half of the second inning. First time up for Kerr with the tying run at first. The pitch. 2 balls and no strikes, the count on the, let's see, he's the 7th hitter in the lineup. Jeff Roby is the new pitcher. And we knew Brian because he is going to have surgery on his shoulder sometime in the near future, and he just wanted to come out and try to get 1 inning under his belt, and he did a great job, scoreless inning, and struck out 2. Charlie trying to get something going here for the Cubs. We're in the home half of the second inning from Goodyear Ballpark. Our game time temperature is 92 degrees. It started around 4:40, and that's high, ball 4, and the first 2 have reached on walks. Next batter up is Dave Chozak, longtime member of the Chicago North, or the Chicago Maxx Cubs. He squares the bunt. He takes a strike, and it's 0-1. So the right-hander Jeff Roby in relief here in the second inning out of Omaha, Nebraska. First and second occupied, nobody out. Here's a bunt, and an absolute perfect bunt. They will tag the runner, and that'll go down as a 1 unassisted sacrifice. They're at second and third with 1 out. So the batter, the left-handed hitting, Tim Simmons. There's a big hole between the bag at second base and the second baseman. He's really playing the pull. Now he's taken a couple of steps back to his right, and now he's back to where he was a moment ago. No balls and 1 strike. Shortstop playing back in at third. That's in there for a called strike. Beautiful pitch. Cubs threatening here in the home half of the second. That one's in the dirt, and a nice job by Cancelo behind the plate. So the count is 2 balls, 1 strike. And now 3 balls and a strike on Tim Simmons with Albert Martinez on deck. Home half of the second inning, the Maxx Cubs at the plate and looking for more. Ground ball short, knocked down there. Here's the throw to first base, and he threw it away. Went sailing over the head of Paul DiMattei. And with the ball going into the dugout, the run will score. And it's a 2-run inning, and the Cubs lead 2-1. And taking second is going to be Tim Simmons for Albert Martinez with 1 out. So the Cubs lead it 2-0 here. And a letter high fastball, strike 1. Gelty on deck. We're in the home half of inning number 2. And that one missed. 1 ball and 1 strike from the right-hander. Jeff Roby. Second pitcher used already. Brian Schultz, who has a shoulder injury, got the start, and he just wanted to pitch that 1 inning. And he got it. Phils led 1-0 at the end of an inning and a half of baseball, but the Cubs have put 2 on the board here in the bottom of the second and lead 2-1. Albert Martinez. And that one gets away, and that will allow the runner to move up to second to third. Martinez draws a walk, and now John Gelty. Geltis And now the throw down to second base, a close play, and he is going to be safe. And technically, it's a double steal. And the Cubs now lead it by a score of 3-1. So how about that? Runner at second, so the Cubs utilizing their excellent speed in this 55 and over cactus. Yelty batting for the first time. Good all-around player at the plate here. And Roby delivers high and tight. He has lost command of his pitches here in this bottom of the second inning. Well, that'll be a pass ball. Runner moves up to third. Still only one out here in the second. And 3 runs have come across as Alden Stiefel, the co-manager of this team. And let's see if the runner will get in. He will. Good speed there by Martinez, and it's a 4-run inning here in the second. So the Chicago Maxx Cubs have come alive here, and that is outside ball 4. That is the 4th walk issued by Jeff Roby since he came into the ball game out of Omaha, Nebraska. Lou Gordon, who's the longtime manager of the Chicago North Cubs. And we got a new pitcher in, and it looks like it's going to be Jim Fain. So Jim Fain will be the 3rd pitcher. He is out of Sebastopol, California. Roby goes 4. He's given up all 4 runs so far. 4 walks, no strikeouts. There was an error in there, so some of these runs could be unearned. But it looks like the first 3 will be earned. Or the first 2, I should say, for sure. Grounded hard down the right field line. Base hit. So Falkstrom has his second hit of the day, and the throw comes all the way to third, and the runner is in. The courtesy runner, 15, making it all the way first to third with some good speed there. And now Tom Berenger, a strikeout victim back in the first inning. He takes ball 1. Runners are at first and third. Only 1 out here in the second inning. And Tom bounces one to the right side. The second baseman able to field and throw out at first, 2 down. So another run will come in. I don't have a 15 on there. Oh, that's Greg Walpoff, excuse me. So Walpoff scores. That's the 5th run in the inning, and the Cubs now lead it as the next hitter up gets hit by a pitch. And another free pass, Javi Renya. And runners are at first and third with 2 out for Billy Dew. Billy, one of the longtime mainstays in the Chicago Maxx, Chicago North organization. He takes a fastball way outside for ball 1. And the runner will take second base, and there'll be no throw. Easy steal there for Reyna. And that's the 3rd steal for the Cubs in this inning alone. In there for a called strike. Billy Dew, still a outstanding runner. Probably one of the fastest in the 55 cactus. He gets jammed on this one. Fain can't make the play. Wisely falls to the ground, and the throw to first is in time. Well, that's a fine defensive play at second base. And at the end of 2, the Cubs now have taken a 5-1 lead. You're watching the 2025 MSBL World Series. And Brian Scholes with an outstanding play, the Indiana native out of Terre Haute. And the first batter here in the 3rd skies it to Dew, and he will track it down with that great speed, 1 down. Top of the 3rd inning. First batter retired Andrew Kinsella on a fly ball to center, and now Troy Goldstein is going to be thrown out at shortstop by the shortstop, and there's 2 down here in the inning. So a nice job by Greg out there deep in the hole. 2 up and 2 down for the Phillies, the Redwood Empire Baseball Phillies. We go back to the top of the order. And Dale Maheron. Carl Falkstrom in his 3rd inning of work for the Cubs. Well, they're making a lot of noise here at Goodyear Ballpark. Seems like they do this to me every year. And it's not just here, Tempe Diablo. Maheron was hit by a pitch. And did he get hit again? Yes, he did. So he has been plunked 2 times here. You can see the wind blowing in. Those flags are in right center field, just to the right of the batter's wall, or batter's eye, I should say. Al McLeod, he was a strikeout victim back in inning number 1. Throw over to first with a runner at first base and 2 men out. Al lives just on the other side of the Golden Gate Bridge, or other side of San Francisco. That'll be an easy stolen base. That's a second for Dale. That is the 3rd for the Phillies. The Cubs have 3 steals in this game. But he lives on the other side of the Golden Gate Bridge in Novato, California. That's some beautiful country over there. Had a chance to visit there many times because of the Oakland, the REBL Oakland Coliseum games. They used to have them at AT&T Park in San Francisco, and that was a big thrill. Check swing, blooper into right field, base hit. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know if that was on purpose or if that was luck. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And that time, I mean, how many times you see a major leaguer scorch one at 110 right at the third baseman? So the Phillies got something going here with Jim Fain, the third place hitter, coming up. And the runner will take second, and that is their 4th steal of the game if you don't apply the defensive indifference. Swung on and belted. Long drive to left center field, and it's going to be caught by Billy Dew. They get 1 hit. They leave 2. And we're heading to the home half of the 3rd inning from Goodyear Ballpark. Jeff Lowry with you, APN Sports, apnvideo.com. First pitch to shortstop Greg Wolpoff is a called strike, 0-1. He'll start things off here in the top half of the 3rd inning, and that's strike 2 called. Brett Graves and Charlie Kerr to follow, and that's a 3-pitch strikeout. Good job by Jim Fain. That's his first strikeout since coming in relief in the 2nd for Jeff Roby, and there's 1 down. Brett Graves puts a charge into this one, but skied it, got under it a little too much, and that will be caught by the Phillies center fielder, Jeff Roby, and there's 2 down. So 2 pitches, 2 outs, and Charles Kerr coming up to the plate. Bottom half of the 3rd inning. The Cubs got 5 in the 2nd, and they lead it here 5-1 with Jim Fain on the mound, the veteran right-hander. Out of Sebastopol, California. That's up in wine country. Pop-up shortstop, and the side is retired. 3 up, 3 down for Jim Fain and the Phillies. And we are heading now to the top of the 4th inning. 5-1, Maxx Cubs. You're watching APN Video from Goodyear Ballpark. And the new pitcher is going to be the Southpaw championship-winning pitcher, Brett Graves. And he'll be going up against the heart of the Phillies lineup, 4, 5, and 6 with Brian Scholes, DeMatte, and Holstad. We're in the top of the 4th inning, and here's a swing and a foul out of play. The Redwood Empire Baseball League out of the San Francisco, California area. Here's a line drive into right field, and it's going to fall in for a hit. It gets by Billy Dew, and heading to second with a leadoff double is Brian Scholes. So a two-base hit. That is the third hit of the day for the Phillies, and now the manager, the general manager, Paul DiMattei, who comes in here averaging the lowest exit velocity in the MSBL World Series. That's a called strike, and it's 0-1. I'm kidding about that. I told him if he hits a little dribbler up the line, I'm going to say it was a negative exit velocity. And a lot of you may not even know what that means, but that's the speed that it's supposedly coming off the bat, and they know it immediately. I don't know how they can do that, but AI does a lot of things that I can't believe. That's a called strike, and it's 1-2 on Paul. He's 0 for 1. Top of the fourth inning. And new pitcher, Brett Graves. He was that championship-winning pitcher. I believe it was against that Red Deer Canadian team. Runner at second, a leadoff double. And a bouncing ball. Well, it's a quality at bat because he got the runner over to third with less than 2 outs. And there's one down here in the inning. I came up with that stat, by the way. And if it's out there, and I haven't seen it, so... A runner at third with 1 out. And the batter is going to be Brad Holstad. Holstad out of Lansing, Michigan. And a called strike, and he's down, no balls and 1 strike. So Carl Falkstrom, the starting pitcher for Maxx Cubs. 3 innings, 2 hits, gave up a run, an earned run, did not walk a batter. He struck out 1, but he hit 2 batters. That's a wave and a miss, and it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. And that little flash, that was the lights finally coming on. It was getting dark. We had to bump up the iris a little bit, let a little more what little bit of light is out there. And here's a smash, and that's going to be a base hit. A fair ball down the line. Dew recovers it and gets it back into the infield quickly. But Brad Holstad with an RBI single, scoring Brian from third. And we got a new ball game. It's 5-2 Maxx Cubs on the RBI single by Brad Holstad. And now the batter is Ignacio Lara. And he is out of Houston, Texas, 62 years young. Throw over to first, and the runner is back in. Now playing at first base, as this one is popped up. That's out of play, is Dave Chosak. Chosak has been a part of this organization, I'd say, at least 2 decades. So Graves gives up a run, and now a fly ball out in the shallow center. Second baseman calling, can't make the play. No one was covering the bag, and now they will, and they'll get the fielder's choice. So that'll go 4-6. There's 2 down here in the inning, and the batter is Mike Shouston. Excuse me. Can't read my... Mike Shouston is from... Well, he's from Colorado. Didn't list the town that he was from, but he's batting up there. Shouston batting for the first time. Graves delivers, and that one grazed his shirt, and that's a hit batsman technically. I think he wants to hit, and I don't blame him. The Phillies are 0-5. The bench is saying, take the base. We got a chance to win this game. What are you doing? So runners are at first and second. 2 men are out here in the top of the fourth inning, and Russ Pennington will dig in, Oregon native. He takes a strike, and it's 0-1. We got our trivia question. The award-winning and the always much anticipated trivia question coming up. Next inning. Line drive. That is a fair ball down the left field line. That ball's going to go all the way into the corner, and 2 runs are going to score, and the Phillies are right back into the ball game. It is a 3-run 4th inning, and it's now a 1-run deficit. The Phillies trail 5-4 on an RBI double by Pennington. 2 runs coming in on that double. And a very good inning here for the Phils, still looking for their first win in round-robin action. Now Scott Brown. Scott is from, well, he's from California. I can't read the writing. It was looks like it was a little smudge there. Mento, California? I'm not sure. We'll get our crack team of investigators on that immediately. We'll do a little handwriting analysis of Paul D. Matei. 2 balls and 1 strike on Scott Brown. Phillies have put 3 runs on the board here in the top of the 4th. And here's a bouncing ball towards the second baseman. He gobbles it up, and Martinez throws him out to retire the side. But 3 big runs come across. We go to the home half of inning number 4. It's a 5-4 Chicago lead. All right, we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Dave Chosak, and first pitch hitting, hits one down to third. 1 pitch, 1 out. Nice defensive play down at the hot corner for the Phillies. 16. And that, of course, is Taro Yumagaki. And he is from Monterey, California. I've spent 11 years there one night. He takes a strike. Bottom half of inning number 4, and here's a hot shot. Mahurin in the hole, and he grabs it and fires to first base. And what a defensive play. And certainly you can hang a star on that one. 2 down, and Albert Martinez coming up. Martinez walked and scored in the Cubs' 5-run second inning. Give you the trivia question, and we'll talk about it here in the next inning or so. Since the Rebl Phillies are out of the Bay Area, San Francisco, this is San Francisco trivia. And we might have Chicago Cubs trivia later, too, just to make it even. Martinez batting as you get a look at the brain trust of the Chicago Maxx Cubs, led by Alden and Reed Stifle, or Reed and Alden Stifle. All right, the question, as this one's grounded to shortstop, deep in the hole, good speed, and the throw, and he called him safe. Paul possibly pulled his foot, and that's an infield hit that will extend the bottom half of the 4th inning for the Cubs. Only their 4th hit. They had 4 walks in that 5-run inning. And now the next batter rolls one to third. They'll go the short route, the nice underhanded grab, and that'll retire the side. That play goes 5-3. Nice job out there by Taro. And at the end of 4, from Goodyear Ballpark in Goodyear, Arizona, it's 5-4 Chicago Maxx. Paul D. Matei on the left. You see Alden Stifle on the right. Alden, an accomplished pitcher throughout his MSBL World Series career. I've seen a lot of gems from this guy, and I think when Lou Gordon moved to the Valley of the Sun here, I don't know how many years it's been, maybe 7 or so, maybe a little bit longer than that. Reed right there on your screen, and Alden kind of became did become the general managers of this team, and they've done a really nice job. They've been very successful in the wins and loss column over the past I'd say 7 years, maybe 8 years. So we go to the top of the fifth inning here from Goodyear Ballpark, the winter home of the Cincinnati Reds and the Cleveland Ball Club. And the first batter up here is going to be the top hitter, the leadoff hitter, Dale Mahurin.
Jordan Newman.
So new pitcher on. Graves goes 1 inning, kind of a warm-up, and the new pitcher is Jordan Newman, and he hits the first batter that he faces, and that represents the tying run. Can you believe it? Dale has been hit each and every time he's been to the plate. So Jordan Newman puts the first hitter on base, and now Al McLeod, who had a base hit, hit a steal. He's also struck out. He's 1 for 2. Top of the fifth inning, Chicago Maxx in the dark blue and the light blue uniforms in the field and leading at 5-4. Here's a fly ball out into center field, and that's a long run. And what a nice play there by Tom Berenger. Well, that's a web, Jim, no question about it. And there's one down here in the inning.
And he got picked off at first base.
And he did get picked off at first base. So there's 2 down in the inning. That's the one thing about our setup. We can't guarantee the pickoff move, especially when they're really quick like that or between at-bats. Here's a ball hit and a nice play by Newman, and that goes 1-3, and that'll retire the side halfway through this evening affair in Goodyear, Arizona, and the Phillies trail the Maxx Cubs 5-4. All right, Jeff Lowry back here from the ballpark. And the Cubs will send to the plate Carl Falkstrom, who has singled both times he's been to the plate. Make it 3 in a row for him, unless they throw him out at first, and the throw is not in time. So he's 3 for 3 on the day. And Carl doing what a good leadoff hitter should do, and that's getting on base. So the batter is going to be Tom Berenger, who made a sensational catch out in center field in the last half inning. We're in the bottom of the fifth. Phillies now in the field, and they trail 5-4, and the first pitch to Berenger is ball 1. He squares the bunt and nearly got hit. In fact, it did hit him, and so runners will be at first and second. That's the second time a Chicago Maxx Cub has been hit by a pitch. First and second, and with nobody out, this ball gets away from the catcher, and they're at second and third. Javi Renya. Line drive and a base hit down the right field line, and that is going to score 2 runs, and the Cubs now lead at 7-4. On an RBI 2-run double by Javi Renya, and now Billy Dew coming to the plate. Our trivia question, can you name the top 5 career home run leaders? Actually, it was a single. As Bill Dew steps in and he takes a strike, he's 0 for 2. Has done very well out in the field. The top 5 career home run leaders in Giants history while in a San Francisco uniform. Ground ball to shortstop, and, well, the ball is off the glove of Paul DeMattei, and that'll go as an error. So there's one down, fielder's choice, and an error on the play on Paul DeMattei. And for an extra $49.95, I can delete that last scene on your final product. Just send a check or money order to the address at the bottom of your screen. Runner takes third on the wild pitch. So the top 5 home run hitters in San Francisco Giants history. High drive, center field, long run, and a nice effort, but it's going to drop in for a hit, and the Cubs have put 3 runs up here on the board. Walpoff with his first hit of the ball game is an RBI variety, and it is now an 8-4 lead for the Chicago Maxx Cubs. So next up is Brett Graves batting for the 3rd time. Runner was going on the pitch. Yeah, Reed stifled down there on the chair, and he's done a nice job. His team coming in here with a 4-win, 1-loss record. And Graves swings and fouls that one off. Then the catching honors is Andrew Cancelo, still in there. He got the start behind the dish. Runner goes again. Here's the throw, and it's a successful stolen base. 4 stolen bases in the game now for Chicago Maxx Cubs. Brett Graves. And a drive to the second baseman, and he's got it. Nice backpedaling play for out number 2. So 8 runs on 7 hits for the Cubs. They've also been issued 7 free passes. They've been hit by a pitch 3 times. And they'll make it 4 times as they got Kerr, and he will head down to first base. So runners are at first and second, 2 down here in the inning, and Dave Chosak will give way here to Neil Cooper, another long-time Chicago Maxx Cub, and a ground ball towards the hole, scooped up nicely, and the throw on to first will get him, and that'll retire the side. Good defensive play right there, and we are heading now, after 3 runs come across, we're heading to the 6th, the Cubs 8, and the Phils 4. All right, we go to the top of the 6th inning, and the first pitch is swung on and hit well. Way back in the right center field. It's going to drop in for a base hit. And here comes the runner in, and that's Brian Schultz with his second 2-base hit of the ball game. And here in the top of the 6th inning, the Phillies are off and running. And one of the things that we've seen in this game, it seems like they have countered every time that the Maxx Cubs have been able to put runs up on the board. 5 in the 2nd, 3 in the 5th. The Phillies have been able to counter and draw close. I mean, it's still a close game at 8-4 with the Cubs leading here in the top of the 6th. Paul DiMattei didn't get far enough for the left-handed throwing catcher. Don Munson. I mean, the name Munson, he has to be a catcher. In fact, I mean, he's left-handed, which is something you won't see at the major league level or a professional level, but even though he's left-handed, his name is Munson, he has to catch. For the great Thurman Munson, one of my all-time favorites. Grounded to short, and they'll hold the runner there, and the long throw across in time. Carl Falkstrom, nice play, 1 down. Runner stays at second with 1 out. Greg Strohmeyer will dig in for the 2nd time. Strohmeyer out of Sonoma, California. Wine country, beautiful area of California. Most of California is beautiful. That's high ball 1. Batted back in the 2nd inning, bounced out 1-3. 2nd inning of work for Newman, Jordan Newman. Fouled off. A little out in front of that pitch. As Jordan Newman works in relief of Brett Graves, who relieved Carl Falkstrom, who through the first 3 innings gave up 1 run, 2 hits, and had a strikeout. My name is Jeff Lowry, apmvideo.com. Top of the 6th inning. Phillies trying to get back into this one, and that one's going to skip away. And now the runner, well, apparently that was a foul ball. Didn't look like it from here, but so the runner has to go back to second base. Runner at second with 1 out. And here is a looper, but it's out of play. 2 strikes on Strohmeyer. And Jordan Newman kicks and deals, and that one is in the dirt, 3-2. So we asked the trivia question, who are the top 5 career home run hitters in San Francisco history? No Mel Ott, none of those old guys. And that swung on and missed, and it's out number 2. Well, at number 5, and all of them are Hall of Famers except for the guy at number 4. There's 2 down here in the inning. And Dave Weitzel will stand in here for the Phillies. Out of Sacramento, California, capital city of California. Ball 1. But the guy at number 5, he finally got in after a long wait, as the count evens at 1-1 on Dave Weitzel. He hit 226 career home runs, had an outstanding career. He was MVP in 67, I believe, with the Cardinals, and he's in the San Francisco Giant Hall of Fame. That is a wave and a miss, and it's 1-2. In fact, his number is up there. They have like a ring of fire or a ring of honor down the left field line there at AT&T Park or whatever they call it now. I'm talking about Orlando Cepeda, Cha-Cha. And that one gets away from the catcher, and the runner moves up 90 feet and is 90 feet away from scoring. Boy, the Phillies could use at least 1 run here. 8-4 Cubs lead it. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Orlando Cepeda played some outfield. I think had some of his big years as a first baseman. Newman missed inside, and that evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Number 4 on that list, I'll give you the whys and wheres here in a second. The runner at third and 2 outs, and that one gets away. This should score the run, and it will. Ryan scores from third, his 2nd run scored of the game, and now it's 8-5. And a 3-ball, 2-strike count here on Weitzel. And he struck him out swinging, held on by Munson. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Jordan Newman. And we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Still a good ball game, 8-5 from Goodyear, the winter home of the Reds and the Indians. Just a beautiful sunset looking out of this main entrance here at Goodyear Baseball Park. We go to the home half of the 6th inning. Jim Fain trying to settle this Cubs offense down, and the first pitch to Tim Simmons, who has reached on an error and scored, and he got robbed on a fine defensive play at second base. He's 0 for 2. As the Cubs lead it by a score of 8-5. Having a little control problems right now. Number 4 on that home run list of San Francisco Giants career leaders. And really just a solid Gold Glove winning third baseman. He played for the Arizona Diamondbacks for several years. Grounded. Can the pitcher cover and get there? He does, but unfortunately it came out of his glove. It was a bang-bang play down there, but unfortunately that'll be an error on the pitcher covering. And so the leadoff hitter is aboard. That'll bring up Albert Martinez. Had a base hit his last time up, walked and scored in the 2nd. Runner takes off, and this will be the 5th stolen base of the day for Chicago Maxx. I'm talking about Matt Williams, won the World Series in 2001 with the Diamondbacks. And that was an exciting season if you were living here in the Valley of the Sun. Swung on and a line drive. Hit to the shortstop. He will come up with it, throw to first in time, back to third. And I think he just got in. Yes, they called him out. They called him out, and that's a 6-3-5 double play, 2 down. So a nifty 6-3-5 double play. You don't see that very often. And now Geltis, who walked and scored in the second inning. And here's a ground ball that's seeing eye single up the middle. That is the 8th hit of the day for the Chicago Maxx Cubs. A 2-out single extends the inning. And I think we're going to get a batter to the bottom of the order here for Reed Stifle. And it's going to be number 27. Do we have two 27s? Or is that 21? Now, apparently that's 21. Is this Ruben Santiago? So Santiago batting for the first time. Yep, that's a 1. And it's knocked down by the first baseman. He's up. Good job by Jim Fain covering. And the side is retired. So that'll go 3-1 if you're scoring at home. And at the end of 6, it is 8-5 in favor of the Cubs. We'll be back. Charlie Kerr will be the 4th pitcher used here by Reed Stifle as we go to the top of the 7th inning. Of course, the Maxx Cubs are probably in the playoffs, and I think they're just trying to save some arms. And, obviously they've got their pitchers lined up for the playoffs, which will start tomorrow. As you get a look at number 22 now patrolling at third base, Larry Fitzgerald, the former wide receiver of the Arizona Cardinals. Brett Graves over at first base. And Holden Stifle is going to do the catching. 62 years young. And there's Alden. We've had a lot of fun down through the years. Both these teams with Paul DiMattei and Lou Gordon and the Stifle brothers, and a strike called on the very first pitch. And here is Jeff Roby, who pitched a third of an inning in this game. Roby batting for the second time, flied out to right field. He swings, he grounds one foul, first base side. But, I go back to the days when we covered those AT&T Park games, and maybe even over at the Coliseum with Paul DiMattei. In the many, many years he's been coming down to the World Series, and good conversations. And obviously Lou living out here, that's been a lot of fun. We go to a spring training game every year. We usually go to Reds, which is at Litchfield Park. As this one is hammered to right field, and that ball's going to get by the right fielder, and this could be 3. That ball rolls all the way down into the corner, and Jeff is on his horse, and he is going to waltz into third with a triple. Well, a good start here for the Rebl Phillies. Paul DiMattei coaching third base, all smiles, and, well, you get this run in, you're right back into the ball game. That's a strike. Well, they're still in the ball game as Cancelo bats, and he grounds one back to the mound. What a play that time by Kerr. He holds the runner at third, and they get the out. So here in the top of the 7th inning, it is 8-5 Maxx Cubs. They just have not been able to put away this Phillies team that has been very pesky here. First pitch outside, ball 1 to Troy Goldstein, looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 1. Let's get through that trivia question. Number 3 on the list, big stretch. 469 home runs, Willie McCovey. And I knew the guy number 2 on this list might not be as high as I thought he was going to be. I knew he was going to be on the list. He had 4 more home runs in a San Francisco Giants uniform than Willie McCovey, and I'm talking about Willie Mays. 473 of his 660 were in San Francisco. Ground ball right side. This will score the run as the out will be made. 2 down here in the inning. And the run scores, and now the deficit is cut to 8-6. So we got a ball game here from Goodyear Ballpark in Goodyear, Arizona. First time up for Eric Williams. 2 out, nobody on. And do I even need to mention who's number 1 on the all-time San Francisco home run list? The man that out-homered Hank Aaron. A lot of people will tell you that Barry Bonds doesn't deserve to be the all-time home run king, as that one is swung on and missed. And I would kind of agree, even though I still think he was going to be a Hall of Famer without the help. But I don't care how big he got, you have to hit the ball. And unfortunately, in that period of time, depending on who was on the mound, as that one is strike 3 called, I'll finish my comment in the bottom half of the 7th. Phillies get 1. They draw to within 2. We go to the bottom of the 7th. 8-6, Chicago Maxx Cubs. Well, Jim Fain is coming out for another inning of work. We go to the home half of the 7th inning. Jim has done a nice job. He came in the 7th inning, and he's stabilized things a bit. And so the first pitch is grounded up the middle and a hard hit ball. And what a day for Carl Falstrom. He is 4 for 4. He has had 4 singles, a run scored, and he is at first base, and he does what a good leadoff hitter does, and that is to get on base, and he's done it every time he's come in to the batter's box. Now Tom Berenger. Tom looking for his first hit. There goes the runner, and the pitch is going to be they're not going to get him, and that's a steal. That's 4 steals now for that's 6 for the Chicago Maxx Cubs. And Berenger bunting one, third base side, tough play. Taro up with the ball and not in time. Well, I tell you, Tom Berenger still has the wheels. And an infield bunt single and a 2-run lead here for the Maxx Cubs in the bottom of the 7th inning. Paul DiMattei, I think, is going to take Jim Fain out of the ball game. Let's see. They'll have a meeting of the minds with runners at first and third and nobody out. So Jim is going to come out of the ball game, and he will give way to Greg Strohmeyer out of Sonoma, California. Strohmeyer, the 4th pitcher. So both managers, DiMattei for Phillies and Reed Stiefel for the Maxx Cubs, have each used 4 pitchers. First and third with nobody out. Reyna at the plate has been hit by a pitch, singled, and a 2-run extra base hit back in the 5th. Runner goes, and they're at second and third. But getting back to Barry Bonds, the strike zone during the steroid era, as this one is sent into the air, center field, it's caught, but that'll go as a sac fly. Smart move throwing that ball back towards third. The sacrifice fly is the 3rd RBI for Reyna. I called him Reyna. And it is now 9-6. That'll bring up Bill Dew. And he takes a strike, looking for his first hit. I think the reason we had so many guys hitting 50 home runs plus in that era, and I think the steroids help. I think that helps keep you off the disabled list to some degree. But to be honest with you, that strike zone was pretty small back then. Nice comebacker and a nice play on the comebacker. And Bill Dew is retired 1-3, 2 down in the inning with a runner at second. A run is in. And Chicago Maxx Cubs here in the 7th inning lead at 9-6. So Bonds, Mays, McCovey, Williams, and Cepeda. Swung on, line drive, but it's foul. How many did I get? Someone just asked me. Ground ball shortstop. And the throw is getting away. And here comes the runner around third, and he will score, and it is now a 10-6 lead. So there'll be an error on the shortstop, no RBI. And now the batter is Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitz. And another stolen base. That's like 9 now for the Cubs. I have 8 stolen bases, 8 for 8, stealing second base here. We're in the 55 and over Cactus Division, MSBL World Series. This is the final game of round-robin play for both these teams. Fitzgerald, well, let's see what he can do here. Getting a chance to bat in the bottom half of the 7th inning. 2 big runs for Chicago Maxx. And here's a fly ball out in the center field. That's going to drop in for a hit, and that's going to plate another run. So a big 3-run inning here. Fitzgerald with the RBI. 3 runs have come across, and it is now 11-6. Or check that. $11-6. Okay, I was right. Charlie Kerr, been hit by a pitch. He's walked. He has popped up to third. He grounds one down to third. Nice convenient hop there for Taro, and he throws out to second. Side retired. He's played a good third base, but 3 runs come across, and we are heading to the 8th inning, and this might be the final inning of play. We'll see. So we go to the top of the 8th inning. Phillies batting, and now trailing by a score of 11-6. Jammed on that one is Dale Mahiran. Let's see if Dale can get through this at bat without being hit by a pitch. He was hit by a pitch in the 1st, 3rd, and 5th inning. He just got a piece of that, 0-2. And I think really the Phillies, or rather the Cubs here, I mean, you want to win every game, but I think they really want to win this game because 4-2 in the 55 Cactus isn't always automatic, and I think they would like to just take care of business as Tom Berenger takes care of Dale Mahiran, and there's one down. And then also, I don't know, I haven't looked at the standings, but, there might be a bye situation in there somewhere if they go 5-1. That we'll have to wait and see. Al McLeod, strikeout, single, flyout. I saw this little stat the other day. I'll just throw this out. I'm doing a trivia question again, but this one's a fly ball out in the left field, and this ball will be caught. What Bill Dew has went from center to right, and now he's playing left field. 2 quick outs here in the inning. And Jim Fain, who had a single RBI in the 1st, he's 1 for 3 at the plate. And here is a looper up the middle and into center field. Well, it's a base hit, but StatCast is telling us that exit velocity was negative 12 on that one, so he was very fortunate to get the base hit. 2 outs, runner at first base for Brian, who has doubled his last 2 times up, and he's 2 for 3. And by the way, that's a called strike. Second inning of work for Charlie Kerr. 11-6 in favor of the Maxx Cubs, looking for their 5th win and 6th in this round robin. Brian out of Terre Haute, Indiana. Terre Haute is right on the Illinois-Indiana state line and home of Larry Bird and Indiana State. I don't know anybody else who's went there.
1-2.
A ball and 2 strikes. Runner at first, 2 out. Hit hard to the right side. The second baseman can't make the play. It's off his glove. And the runner will be safe at first base, and the Phillies just will not give up. Now let's see if Paul can come through. He is due. And this guy is hitting .489 when APN is televising his games. So the .489 hitter with a lot of pressure up there. If he could get a gapper here, and that would pull him to within, get those 2 runs in, pull them to within 11-8. They're right back in the ball game. Kerr delivers, and it's outside. Seven pitchers in baseball history have won a Cy Young in both leagues. I found this very intriguing. Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez, Roger Clemens, Gaylord Perry, Max Scherzer, Roy Halladay, and most recently Blake Snell. Two on, 2 out, 2 strikes. Paul DiMattei at the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. And he chops one down to third, and that ball will be corralled nicely. Taking it to the bag was Fitzgerald, and that one goes 5 unassisted. 2 left at the end of 7.5 innings of play. The Phillies still trail 11-6. Jeff Lowry back here from Goodyear Ballpark, and the first hitter, Dave Chozak, drills one into right field, a base hit. Well, he had a sacrifice earlier. Excuse me, that wasn't Dave Chozak. I stand corrected. Neil Cooper batting for the second time, and he's got a base hit. He's 1 for 2. Here's a bunt. Simmons picked up by the pitcher, and the throw in time. That's an outstanding play. And now the runner coming to third, and they throw it away and down the line, and the run will score. Throw to the plate. Actually, the throw beat him, and the catcher blocking the plate, and still Cooper scores. Neil Cooper. And he'll take a bow, and rightly so, and it's now 12-6 in favor of the Chicago Maxx Cubs. He went first to home and scores it, and a big insurance run and a big smile from Lou Gordon down at first base. All right, next up is going to be Jordan Newman, who pitched 2 innings in relief. And here's a roller to the right side. The second baseman, bare hands, high throw, and there's a collision. That'll be an infield hit for Newman. So a total of 12 runs on 13 hits for the Maxx Cubs.
That's right.
Well, if you're wondering who the winning pitcher is in line for right now, unless the lead is relinquished, it would be technically Brett Graves. And that one is off the glove of the catcher, and no advancement of the runner. John Geltis. Well, this time he will take second base. Well, getting a little late here. We might have some tired bodies out here. I mean, most of these guys are pushing 60 or over 60 years old. In fact, I was looking at the roster. Greg Strohmeyer of the Rebl Phillies is 69 years old. Paul DiMattei is 67, playing in the 55s. But it's been, it's just a great experience for me to be out here with Lou Gordon. As that strike three called, good pitch that time by Strohmeyer, the 69-year-old young. This guy's in good shape. We were talking about it before the game. I mean, he is definitely doing something right. And now the next batter up, who I thought was 27, but this is Santiago, who bounced out 3-1. His only time up, that was back in the 6th inning. So it's 12-6, Maxx Cubs. Swung on and lifted out of play to the right side. No balls and 2 strikes on Santiago against Strohmeyer. Greg out of Sonoma, California, and here's a drive, base hit, right field. Nice job of going to the opposite field. Here comes a throw to the plate, and they'll hold the runner at third, but Santiago with a base hit. And runners are at first and third, 2 out here in the 8th inning. 12-6 Cubs. And Carl Falkstrom, all he has done is went 4 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Here in the 8th. Well, I think if we can get an out here, we'll see a 9th inning. Here's a shot up the middle, base hit. He is 5 for 5. He drives in his first run, Newman from third. Runners are at first and second, and Carl Falkstrom's 5 for 5. How about that? Now Tom Berenger. It's 13-6 in favor of the Maxx Cubs. So they're going to go into the playoffs 5-1 and a very high seed. Berenger's like, that ball was in Chandler, Arizona. What are you talking about? Runner at third. Runner at second. And Berenger, I mean, there's 2. This umpire's ready to go. He's got the lady at home, dinner's on the table, and a bottle of wine has been uncorked, and that's a swing and a miss. But they get 2 insurance runs, and we're heading to the 9th. This is it. 13-6 in favor of the Cubs. And Reed Stifel, the manager of the Cubs, is going to come in, and he was talking about some of the surgeries. Both these guys have been under the knife a lot lately, and just like when we talked to Eric Williams before the game, the New Jersey native, we really enjoyed that interview, and I know Reed and Alden have had to overcome a lot of adversity in terms of and I'm sure there's probably a half a dozen other guys in this ball game that's had to go through something similar. So we go to the top of the 9th inning. The Maxx Cubs lead it 13-6. Second time up for Brad Holstad. He had an RBI single back in the 4th. 13-6 Cubs over the Redwood Empire Baseball League Phils. That last pitch, I'll tell you, if you look at Tom Berenger out there in center field, I mean, he's rolling his eyes. He's like, you called that twice on me for a called strike, as this one's chopped foul up the line. Change up and a bouncing ball down to first. And that will be taken care of for out number 1. And Brett Graves gets the put out. 1 up and 1 down, 3 unassisted if you're scoring at home. And here is Ignacio Lara. That's a great baseball name. Top of the 9th. 13-6 Chicago Maxx Cubs. Gotta like their uniforms. Different from a lot of other teams. Big swing and a miss here by Ignacio. Scored a run in the fourth, reached on a fielder's choice, his only at bat. He was doing that shared position. And a wave and a miss and Stifle with that bionic right arm. A blazing fastball for out number 2. And Mike Charleston is the last hope for the Phillies here in the bottom or the top of the 9th inning, with the Maxx Cubs leading at 13-6. Well, this is going to be Jeff Roby. Jeff has flied to right field, and he had that big triple, came around to score. So he's 1 for 2, trying to add on to maybe go 2 for 3 today. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that one's a little bit low. Good eye there by Roby, showing a good patience up there, coming to you from Goodyear Ballpark. This opened up in 2009. And here's a chopper. The third baseman's up with it. He throws to first, and the Maxx Cubs are victorious. Cubs win. Cubs win. And the final score is 13-6. Brett Graves will pick up the win for the Maxx Cubs out of Chicago, Illinois. And the Windy City Boys are 5-1 going into the playoffs. This has been a presentation of APM Video Sports. So long, everybody.
So I've been with this guy 25 years, and I've been with this guy 62 years.
Yes, that's right.
62 years.
I don't look a day over 40, but
I bet you we're probably the only brothers that do what we do with the intensity that we do it. And we've got 3 teams this year. It's really an organization more than just teams. And we have a great time. It's more about the guys than it is about winning, even though we're very competitive and we've won quite a bit over the years. Tonight's going to be a great game. We're hoping that we'll be second in the division if we win tonight's game. And our 65 team is struggling to make the playoffs, but we hope that works out for us too.
We should, and we should make it.
Yeah.
So you're in the playoffs, barring some miracle. How do you guys look going in?
If our pitchers throw strikes and we play defense and we get some clutch hits and we don't beat ourselves, we've got a very good chance. We've got very good players.
One of the issues that we have is issues that every team that has 55, 60, 65 guys, injuries.
Yeah.
Guys pull hammies. We're fortunate enough, we have a trainer at every one of our games.
Yeah.
So whether it's he or she, they help us out and try to keep us healthy and keep us smart too by not overplaying. So we come with large rosters. I mean, we have 17 or 18 on this one. Our 65s has 21. Our 60s have 20, 25, and our 65s have 21. But you need them. You need them. And there's some guys that have specialties. You know, they're pitchers, they're catchers, they're hitters. And so that's how we do it. And we really don't get any complaints. Reed does a great job of getting everybody in. And Lou,
and so do you.
And Lou's been with us. Lou's, he's the mascot. He's the team mascot, right?
Mascot now.
But
okay.
But now, when he goes to coach first base and we're on the third base side, by the time he gets back from first base to the dugout, it's time to go back to first base. So,
but to give Lou a little love, and
from now on.
Years ago, Lou was an incredible player in his own right. But Father Time has caught up.
That's very nice of you to say.
But what's more important, seriously, how old are you?
I'm 76.
So to still have the passion he has, and to come out here every year and every game in this heat, is really an incredible thing. I know I always give him grief, but he deserves his props sometimes.
Well, thank you so much.
Don't get used to it.
I enjoy that. Well, no, I'll never get used to it with you. I know you well enough. How many years now? I know him well enough. And I'll take the good stuff he's thrown my way now, but I know he throws a lot of bad stuff too.
But Jeff, here's to you too, because you've been with us almost all those 25 years.
Yeah.
So I noticed you're a little light up top.
Oh,
Am I?
no, you're still looking good, Jeff.
But thank for everything.
And Jeff, I'm not a gambling man, but I'm going to bet you this game we're going to play really well. I'm going to pitch the ninth and close it, and I'll go 3 up, 3 down.
And I'm going to predict the score 13-6.
Wow, how about that?
And you know what? These guys, I think they nailed it right on the head. This will be a good win for us today. It'll put us in the playoffs tomorrow.
All right, tell the fans at home why you keep coming back year after year. Yeah, I know you haven't played in a while, but
No, I haven't.
But just tell us about that love of this game that you have.
Well, we don't have 3 hours of video for me to catch up on all that.
Archives, though.
Well, this is true too. But I've been playing baseball since I'm 9 years old. A catcher my whole life. Got involved with men's senior baseball 32 or 3 years ago, and came out to my first Arizona World Series. Then I begged to get on a team because I wanted to give it a shot. The moment I got off the plane, saw the mountains, smelled the air, played on these magnificent fields that we have here, I said, you know what? I'm going to keep playing and keep doing it. And, knock on wood, we've developed a fabulous organization over the years. When I moved down here 7 or 8 years ago, I found out the first year that it was too hard for me to be the manager and to recruit and see the new guys back home in Chicago. So Alden and Reed have done an incredible job putting the teams together, and I'm thankful that they're allowing me to still be part of it.
Well, it's always been a pleasure for me to cover this team, and I kind of almost feel like you're my team. So
we feel the same way about you.
Like if you were a Cincinnati or a Chicago Cubs fan, and you love Sandberg and Billy Williams and the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that's, you guys are that for me, and I really appreciate you. Let me cover you for what has been, I think, this is our 27th year.
Wow.
99, I think, was our first year.
Where has the time gone?
And it's funny, I think I've been coming here with Maxx since about 98.
Yeah.
It's gone fast.
You would think you're playing Little League at 5, 6, 10, 12 years old, and literally 50 to 60 years later. And I'm not saying we're all superstars, but for our age relative, not only our team, some of the best amateur players in the country, the people that come here from all over, it's just incredible competition. People think when they hear, oh, you're 50, you're 60, you're 70, they think you're playing beer ball.
Yeah.
It's incredible competition, incredible players, and
And there's a testament to anybody who's over 50, and we have an 80 and over league.
Well, not yet.
Not yet, but we have an 80 and over league, and there's 4 teams. So you got 60, 70, 75 players.
Yeah.
80 and over. So
isn't that fabulous?
But
it's America's sport.
Yeah.
And Reed, what you've had to persevere in the last year with your surgeries and coming out here and making plays and making pitches, congratulations.
I appreciate it. Just glad to be out here.
Okay.